All right, all right. Hello, hello. Welcome everyone back to the first ever, and I've been waiting to do this for almost 2 years, and I know Big K has too, and a lot of you have too. The first ever emergency happy hour show. Big K, how you doing over there? Oh, it's sweet.
Fantastic. Fucking fantastic. Ready to have a drink.
Gotta love that
Ready to
sound, right?
celebrate. Oh,
And
yeah.
we are joined by Nuclear Herbs down there. How you doing, amigo?
Hey, everybody. It's good to see you.
So, cheers, Big K. Oh, I just happen to have a rum and coke here. So,
Oh, beautiful.
I got a
Beautiful.
Dos Equis going
Cheers,
over
good
here.
sir. Oh, yeah. Lovely, gentlemen. Thank you for having a cold beverage with me.
so what is there to talk about? I mean,
I don't know. Is
obviously,
there any news
I'm on the road, so I hope that an alligator doesn't crawl out of the swamp here and take me live on stream. But you know what?
Wasn't saying
We'll go out
beautiful
on a
either.
positive note. So we've been waiting for this for a while, but we finally got a dismissal. And thank you for Herbs for coming on short notice. Big K, likewise.
course.
I mean, let's just jump right into it because usually I have show notes and topics and
there?
things to go over. I jotted down like 3 or 4 things, but
Yeah, not a lot of prep time with this one, is there?
exactly like immediate reactions. I see Maddie just said Richard Hart just dropped a tweet statement, but what's your immediate reaction to, I guess, this dismissal first off, and then we'll get into some other stuff.
Fucking euphoria, man. This is exactly what we, the best result we could have hoped for. The only thing that sucks a tiny bit is that she gave the SEC 20 days to come up with some freaking way to correct their shit ass complaint, which, if they were gonna do it, they would have done it by now. Like they don't have it. If they had facts that they could have added to the case, they would have done it in court when a judge asked them direct questions. They don't have it. They don't have the facts. It's done. They just need to take their football and go home. So,
And
we'll
with the current backdrop and all these cases getting dismissed, that aren't Richard Hart, like Coinbase.
Yeah, but those are voluntary dismissals by the SEC. This is
right. But does that have any does that grant extra weight on this dismissal? Like it's like, man, things are really looking good because of that, or just totally unrelated?
Well, if you have like the SEC dropping a bunch of cases, like people still wonder whether or not the defendant in that case actually still did what the SEC charged him with, or whether or not the SEC just dropped it for political reasons. The SEC didn't drop this case. Richard Hart straight up won. So,
Yeah, they were pretty clear. I was going to say, just in what I saw that was posted already, it seemed like it was pretty clear that she did not find under 2 different types of ruling against fraud or whatever. There's neither of those did they demonstrate that there is actually any fraud whatsoever. So.
Yeah, and I mean, I've been fielding phone calls and emails and everything else from everybody in this goddamn community. Just like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? I'm like, and then I'm like, hey, can you jump on this stream? Like, can you do this? And I'm like, okay, fine. Let me read the fucking thing. Like, I've gotten through it maybe once just as a quick skim. But I didn't see anything in it that makes me nervous or that looks bad for Richard. I mean, even if motions dismiss, like she has to evaluate everything in the complaint in the light most favorable to the SEC, and she still couldn't come up with enough reasons to keep this thing alive. So she seemed to demonstrate a pretty solid understanding of the case in court, and she clearly has a pretty solid understanding of the case now. I think if there was anything that the SEC actually had, she would have given it to him, like at least let the case move forward. But it's fantastic that she just killed it.
Yeah.
It's dead. So
yeah, let's Maddie alluded to it in the chat here. I'm just going to try to find.
Oh, you got Richard's tweet? I haven't taken a look at that.
I'm going to put it up here in a second.
Well, how about that? We got the apology from Hoskinson's already. He's already said, "Let me be the first to apologize to Richard."
Oh,
no shit, huh?
Yeah, and 9 minutes ago, he somebody called him out with the letter, and he said, well, let me be the first to apologize.
Oh yeah, I put it out there. I said something like, somebody tell Rich or somebody tell Charles so crush his dreams or something like that.
Oh yeah,
And
I saw that tweet of yours.
That's
Well,
like a
they
million
did.
people.
They did. They made sure he was aware.
That's fantastic.
Yes, Briz, and very nice about Charles. I agree. Richard
And I
Hart,
mean, regardless of how much of a piece he's been, or what one way or another, I mean, that's a good it's a good first step from everybody. Hopefully, lots of people in crypto take some heed of this, because now, okay, there's not going to be a case. Richard isn't going down. Pulse isn't going to be deemed as secure. That's not all happening. So now you're going to have to find a way to work with us. We're going to be here. Let's all build bridges and stuff.
Yeah, and if the SEC doesn't have jurisdiction over Richard or his products, I mean, what are we worried about with if Coinbase wants to list it, then list it. I mean, it's not like the SEC can say, "Hey, you're listing a security." Well, guess what? You don't have jurisdiction over it anyway. So even if it is, we don't give a shit.
Yeah, and at that point in time, once we're in this situation, I guess you could claim the Interpol stuff, but once that's all behind us, these exchanges you're gonna have to be honest about if you're not gonna list it, it's personal prejudice. There's not some sort of legal reason why you can't do it.
Right.
I just wanted to read this for those who might not be watching, just listening on audio or YouTube Premium or whatever. I appreciate these are Richard Hart's words in his post. I appreciate Judge Amon's careful ruling, which has dismissed all of the SEC's claims against me. This type of victory over the SEC is quite rare. Pulse Chain, Pulse X, and Hex are not securities and should be allowed to flourish. Hex has operated flawlessly for over 5 years. Today's decision in favor of a cryptocurrency founder and his projects over the SEC brings welcome relief and opportunity to all cryptocurrencies. Thank you, President Trump, for supporting cryptocurrency at Real Donald Trump. So very cool.
Absolutely.
Yes, I will drink to that.
A big shout out to both Michael Liftick and David Kirk, who did an outstanding job prepping this argument, writing the motion, and arguing it in court. I put it out there that
send them a thank you.
Put a tweet out there to send thank yous.
They deserve it for sure.
Yeah, and you don't always get the result you want, no matter how hard you try sometimes. But they earned it. They earned every last cent that they got paid, and I've been impressed with that whole team since the start. And goddamn, good job, guys! Good job.
Okay.
Daggum, that's right. Woo! Another. This is the happiest of hours here, gents. So
no kidding, man.
It really is. It's super awesome. As soon as you said you're like, "Hey, emergency happy hour," I was like, "Hell yeah!"
I was walking back from the pool, but
I was busy. I was busy putting in the last. I got as soon as it announced, I got a buy-in still under a penny. I was like, yes.
And think about the timing on this too. We had Pulse Chain Tour next week in Vegas.
It's great. It's great.
I mean, it couldn't be any better right now. So
no, and there's going to be a bunch of stuff coming up this year that Hexicans, Pulsicans, whatever we should make presence at. I mean, there's the Bitcoin conference. There's a lot of shit. Consensus, everything that's coming up that we did last year, we should be at, and then some. This is an awesome moment for us to be able to, really shill the shit out of this.
Yeah, it's great timing for something that I've been mentioning on stream as well, and what's been gaining steam are the mailers, and that whole deal. And I'm like, the headline risk is too great. Well, this is the large portion of the headline risk is gone.
The only portion that really matters, whether or not it's the crypto related portion.
Yes, the crypto related stuff.
Yes.
Everybody's going to have their own personal shit go on, no matter who you are,
Yep.
I've got mine, you got yours, who cares? Richard's got his, nobody gives a shit, really. So, now that Hex, Pulse Chain, and Pulse X are in the clear, not really much holding us back anymore. So I don't know if he's going to wind up. I have no idea. I hope to see him again soon. I don't know if he's going to wait the 20 days to see if the SEC does something fucking retarded, or if, if he's free to go now. I have no idea, but
I would guess he's already been advised on that, perhaps.
I would think so, but yeah, I mean,
it's interesting.
Like,
Like I
all
said, I still
clear,
feel
or just wait 3 weeks.
his attorneys are reading through the thing just like I am, right now, real time. So, let's hope that they give him the go ahead if he wants it.
I guess what is like I guess there's no legal precedent on that, but like if a case is dismissed and it's mentioned like in the accusations or whatever, well, you shouldn't talk crypto ever again or whatever, and then it gets dismissed, is that
on.
like a clear to do
Yeah,
that?
it's like you send your wish list to Santa, and Santa tells you to go fuck yourself. You're not getting any of it. So that's pretty much what it is.
So technically, maybe it could be seen that he's good for 20 days to like come back and say hello.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Monday morning, these guys, Richard's team is going to be on the phone with the SEC, going, "All right, what are you going to do? Like, are you going to do something stupid or not?
Yeah, so you're gonna draw this out, or are we good here?
Yeah, but I mean, again, like they would have to, if they wanted to redraft an amended complaint and file it, they would have to come up with facts that should have been in this initial complaint that weren't. They would have to go directly to the same claims during the same time period. And they just didn't have things like the judge talks a lot about the offer periods and the relevant time frames, what Richard said during whatever relevant period or whatever. If, they went through everything that he had, they scrubbed every, YouTube video that guy put out. They scrubbed all his tweets or whatever. They don't have anything. There's nothing else like that they can bring up that's going to be relevant, that's going to make all of a sudden these claims, valid out of nowhere. So I really don't expect to see the SEC even try to amend the complaint, because it just seems like a complete waste of time. To me, it does anyway. If they had it, they would have said it by
now. Just talking legalese stuff in here, because Briz always brings up interesting questions. But would it be in the realm of possibility for RH to, like, I guess, countersue or sue the SEC at this point, or just like, all right, we're done, like, just this is it, like, let's just move on?
If it were me, I'd probably just move on. I mean, suing the SEC, like, for doing something. I mean, what would the cause of action be? I mean, they sued him under their current guidance, regarding the way that they interpret Howie. And they've been successful in doing that with other defendants. So the chance that you're going to win a case like that, like showing that you'd have to show that you were somehow singled out,
uniquely,
targeted, some sort of, something along the lines of, they emailed each other and said, "Fuck this guy," let's just go after him because I don't like it. I don't like his taste in clothing, whatever, something along those lines where they target him for a non-valid legal reason. And I doubt he has that information, like anything that looks like that. I doubt they did it. I just think that they filed against him thinking they could force a settlement and claim another scalp, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those Monet situations where, like, from afar, they're like, "Oh, we got this. Look at this Gucci wearing idiot." Like,
yeah, I don't think they expected a fight like this.
And that, yeah, exactly. And then when they, the more you pick it apart, you're like, "Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, this guy's really well funded. He's going to fight it, and he's, prepared for this." So
yeah, I mean, talk about, like, if you're Quinn Emanuel or Kirk and Ingram right now, I'm putting the shit on the website. Like, we beat the SEC. This is absolutely going on my website.
Just like another
it's a notch
resume.
On the yeah.
Yep. Nice. Got some comments or questions in the chat. I just wanted to get your guys' first takes on them. I'll bring them up. Let's see.
All day, bring them up.
Running Jim, man, good. Haven't seen you in a minute. Been almost a year. since I've seen you down here in this wonderful state. Great that Pulse Chain, Pulse X, and Hex were all named in the charge. No ambiguity about RH products now. What do you think about that, Herbs?
I agree with Gary, like, completely. I just think that I think the judge did a very good job outlining the decision and making the decision, supporting the decision, which, and it's kind of been a little bit of my speculation all along. Like, if she was gonna deny his motion entirely, we would have known about it a little earlier. And so it just kind of felt to me like this was either going to be a split the baby or a full. I kind of still thought it was going to be a split the baby a little bit, but getting a full, damn, like, I mean, it's all we could hope for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I agree with Gary. He's 100% right there. Like,
Nice. And chat, while we have the Herbs here, feel free to ask your questions and comments while we got them. What else? All right, Big K. What comes first, an RH live stream or a central exchange listing?
Ooh, that is actually a really good question, because like I still feel like here's the thing: is that Richard only gets one chance to like come back.
Yes.
You only get one chance to be like, I'm back, baby, to go Beetlejuice on us, And
Yeah.
so like if like that moment is gonna be something that he's gonna try and time right. And so like if I was a guessing man, I don't think we necessarily even get him back after the 20 days. I mean, I like some part of me thinks that I think he likes the market to be in a slightly different position than we're at right now. I mean, I think that would be. And I think that maybe he needs to, clear it. You might use or say, hey, I'm on this red notice, so I'm still not, whatever legal counsel he's got to deal with that might be like, hey, you might still want to lay fucking low. So I still feel like there's some pins that like in a perfect world, there's no red notice. In a perfect world, that we're 20 days past this thing. In a perfect world, ETH is at 4K. Like those would all be three things that, like, if
the North Koreans are done selling the ETH.
Yeah, the Koreans are done selling it. If we have those things, and then Richard doesn't come back, well then we are truly on our own, guys. Like, he's not coming back. But I don't think, you know what I mean. But I don't think that's the case. I think that if we get those things, then like he'll for sure, have his moment. And I think that sometime between now and this Christmas will be fantastic for that. I'm not in any hurry. Like, you gotta come out now, because like I want him to time it properly.
Yeah, I fully agree with that, and I've always been on the side that I do think he streams again. Like, his passion is there, if you could not already tell. Like, the diatribes that goes on X, and just like launches into either it's like trolling commentary or something that's beneficial and helpful to people, about mining their keys, their coins, and whatnot. His passion has not dimmed in I don't think at all. I think that he's been silent, or from the visual sense, for legal reasons, and I could be wrong, and I'd be very sad if I was wrong, as with many other Hexagons out there. But yeah, I agree with you, Big K. The timing, would be great. I wonder if he has the welcome back X posts already drawn up. I do a live stream.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I hope he does. So I just, I would still urge caution if I were advising him. Like, just let this go by, let the 20 days die, let this thing
Get
become
that window, past that window.
Yeah, because it's essentially dismissed with prejudice at that point. Because if you don't comply with the option the court gives you, then it's gonna wind up. Most dismissals for lack of personal jurisdiction are generally with prejudice. So she's just kind of holding off and giving this little window for the SEC. But again, I don't really believe that she even believes that it's gonna the SEC is gonna take advantage of it, because they don't have anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and their recent record is awful. Like, So
Well, that's what happens when you have shitty cases, and like, I mean, if you don't have a good case against somebody, then there's only so much crap you can, there's only so much lipstick I guess you can put on that pig.
Yeah. And you gotta. At least I'm speculating in my mind already that I get it. I'm not over here ever expecting profit from the work of others. But here's the thing: is that a lot of that language and a lot of what we've been doing, what Richard's been doing from the get-go, has been a very careful version of marketing. He's been incredibly compliant. To just for the whole time, 5 years of this, so that we could get to this now, to get to the point where we're like, hey, this is not a security. You've done your part. So what does Richard being able to market the way he actually would like to market? Because I mean, he knows how. He's like, I could make claims. I can say things that would make price go up more. I could do things that that you would like me to do, but I can't. I won't. And so I wonder what the world looks like when those gloves are somewhat off, or at least that kind of stuff is on whatever is on the table. He's got open line to promote as much as whatever he wants, however he wants.
Yeah, I don't even care that if he comes out and starts promoting stuff or whatever. I fine, whatever. If he does it, great. If he doesn't, great. But I mean, I think we lost out a lot on a lot of education for people in crypto because he wasn't streaming. The advice that he had for people, the way that he taught people, not your keys, not your coins, do things and protect stuff. All these.
He keeps getting proven right in real time.
Every all the time. Yeah. So I mean, that's the kind of value that he really brings to crypto in general, and we've lost a lot of that. Especially when the last memory of him a lot of people have is the outrage marketing Richard, rather than the guy that we all know. So if he comes back and he's able to show who he really is, the value of that is immeasurable, I think. Anyway.
Yeah, I think agreed. I mean, and that's the thing is that I don't need again, I'm fine we'll go on without him if we have to, but I think that he wants to, he likes to be a public figure and wants to promote this stuff and wants to help people and provide the knowledge that he's got. I think
absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
More comments in the chat. An excellent one from Super Hex. Yo. Emojis in the chat. Super Hex, what's up, man? He's been absolutely killing it on TikTok with the Richard Hart meme stuff. Just crazy views over there. I hopped on one of his live streams or commented and watched it, and it's now the iron is hot, man. So goodness. Just, I guess, a legal question, Chris J369, with or without prejudice? I think you covered that.
Yeah, you covered that. Yeah.
Freddie Quotes, friend of the show and in real life. I have onboards who the SEC showed up at their door the day after Christmas being harassed by the SEC after cooperating for 2 years. I have a feeling there may be harassment lawsuits being drawn up as we
speak.
Good
Lord, that is batshit. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And we've chatted in private, and that's totally legit. That's not me.
That's me. Hold on a second.
Okay. Watcher Guru just posted about the case, so word's getting out now. We got Charles car salesman posting about it. Watcher Guru's on it. Big K, can D Hextessentialist ask, can we call it staking again?
I think so. I mean, I liked it. I liked usurping taking over the mining term. I like that. It's cool. I mean, I felt like then I didn't, I was like, you still mine? I'm like, yeah, dog, it's a lot easier now. But yeah, I think he can call it staking now. I think he can call it. I think we would say whatever the fuck we want, basically. And I think it's no financial advice or anything, just
no financial advice. Hank Hill writes, does Richard move back to America? I mean, that's a long-term thing, but I mean, thoughts on that?
Well, he could live wherever the hell he wants to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, if he feels like there's some sort of strategic reason to be here, if, blockchain is, if Trump's doing everything he can to center crypto here, I mean, I could see him seeing an advantage.
I wouldn't mind seeing him visit, like, every once in a while, like, showing up at a conference or whatever the hell, like, just but
would it be smart regarding like the Interpol's stuff?
No, not at this point. I mean, we just got to trust that he knows what he's doing. That's all.
No, I totally do. He is safe, as he identified during Christmas time.
Yeah, that was a good thing to hear.
Yeah.
Yes, imagine the views when the green candles are lit, or some candles.
Yeah, there you go.
Candles at this point.
Man, I would love it if he came back streaming when we hit. I don't know.
Oh, we could go up like I haven't even looked right now, but
oh man, have you played around with that tool that tells you like if you like how the liquidity is right now? If you put what a buys do.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
It's
like,
pretty
everybody's just going to sell off everything if it goes up 5% anyway. Like,
I mean, you already see people on this. Like, we just pumped from like what is complete indecision forever to, and like people are already still selling it down. We already went from 1.4 now back down to 1.2. So like
1.35 now. And is this liquidity right? Still only 7.4 million,
dude. If you look, so yeah, where's the page that I just had up? So there's if you're on Hex, what the heck is the one that is just on apphex.win? They've got that like liquidity little thing that's on there, and that one has like exactly how much hex. There's only 423 million hex of p hex in the pool, and like the 4 biggest pools.
Oh wow.
And like that, so like for people's understanding and what that really is like the last time we touched a penny and went under it, whatever that's 6 months ago or so, when that happened, we had 2.4 billion hex in those same pools. So now we have less than a fifth of that, in those pools, and so at the same price, so that's. And like it seems like as I've been watching it, like it seems like we dip in price, and instead of more hex being in there, there's just less hex in there each time. You're like, okay, that's weird. So like I feel like we're at, and then when you start to play around with that tool, pump. Where's the? I'll also tell their little. I've got to pull it up somewhere here, and I'll show you all. But that tool, like $10 million of buys right now, sends us like I don't know, like 15 cents or something like that. Insane.
Oh, damn.
Like, it's just absolutely mind bending how low the liquidity is right now, and how high we can pump with very very little input. So it's we're at a pretty neat place. I feel like Richard might have had some sort of premonition that something like this is going to happen, and put us in a good position. I mean, cutting all the inflation made everybody run away from liquidity farming, so that was great.
Yeah.
How about that, Herbs? Like the timing of that. I mean, this is just pure speculation on my end, not knowing, not being in the legal realm, but would a client have a sense from his lawyers, be like, hey, we think this verdict could very well happen in the coming weeks, or are they just in the dark totally? Like the rest of us, do they get like a sense, like, is there anything that like they could pick up on and be like, okay, we kind of expect something in the next month or something like that?
Well, if you remember, Richard on his Christmas stream talked about like expecting a ruling anytime in the next couple of days to weeks or whatever. It just lasted longer than that. And I'm sure he got that info from his counsel. He's probably not reading my fucking tweets. He's probably listening.
But it wasn't like the maneuvers with the coins happened after days and even weeks, I would think.
Yeah, so, well, maybe he just knew that, like, that you're getting closer and closer, and eventually it's got to come out.
Yeah.
It's just like a pregnant woman who's overdue. That baby's coming out at some fucking point. It's coming.
Tell it's that time of the month for him. Right, we're ready.
Terry, great start to the weekend. Dixon Sider.
Hey, Zenith, good to see you, man.
Cabana, tell Jenkins he can come out of hiding. LOL. Miss you, Jenkins. We miss our chart streams, man. So, what other comments did we have in here? Yeah, just had this briefly up earlier, but Big K, can we now write on the postcards that Hex is not a security?
I think so. I think so. I think so. I think it's one of those kinds of things, though. That, like you don't even have to do. You ain't got to worry about that. Like I think we have to
Well, again, who gives a shit whether or not it is, right? I mean, there's a lot of securities that are posted on German stock exchanges and Swedish stock exchanges and Japanese stock, and the SEC's got no control over those things. So who gives a shit whether it is or not at this point? The SEC's got no jurisdiction over it, so who cares? They can cry about it and think whatever the hell they want to. They can't just do anything about it. So it's
doesn't even matter.
Yep.
Herbs from Zenith. Are we surprised that the First Amendment claims weren't even touched?
Not at all. Not at all. Not surprised at all. You've got to get over the giant personal jurisdiction hurdle before you get to anything substantive, and they never made it over that first hurdle.
Super cool, man.
Wheezy Bird, Martin Skrelly tweeted at him, being mad that RH won. Yeah, that guy.
Oh man, the guy that guy getting mad at you, being pissed off that somebody else used navigated the legal system reasonably. And you're like, bro, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. I mean, what else what can you say about that? The world is working obviously as intended right there. Fantastic.
And shout out to Sandy Beach on so many streams, here from the beginning.
Always hanging.
So what is up, Sandy? See you quite often in the DJ Cryptomatic sets as well. And he was here. He might still be in the chat earlier. So good to see him as always. Again, impromptu. And any other questions or comments, throw them in the chat. I got a couple more topics in the meantime.
Just so good to see everybody happy right now.
Right?
We've been on such a roller coaster for so fucking long. And, it's just so nice to see everybody smiling and happy and, being positive right now. So it's just great, man. I'm just going to enjoy this as long as it lasts.
Yeah, I'm sure. Don't worry, the community will find some dumb shit to fight about.
Let's not talk about that right now.
But right now it feels real good, and at least this is not one topic that we have to, isn't what's going to happen? Is Richard right? Is he an idiot for that? Was he scammed? What we can just fuck all that shit. Let's actually do blockchain stuff. Build some cool things, and
absolutely,
see where this all goes. See if Richard's theories on it all are right. It all seems pretty good. If we, I loved his tweets about us being Ethereum being the test ground, the test net for us. I like that. I love the way the angles he provides of whether it be spin or perspective. You can make your own call on that. Are fantastic. So I'm really excited to have more of it,
Absolutely. Yep.
More questions for Herbs. Again, keep posting them, guys, in the chat. You guys are lighting up tonight. Zena, the part where the judge dismantled the fraud claim from both Morrison and Dodd-Frank was some good dry legal comedy. Fully embarrassed the SEC with that part.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and read that again. I only got a chance to read it briefly, but
is that the equivalent of for a lawyer going back and watching your favorite show over and over?
Yeah, I kind of like that. Okay. Yeah, it's, when you get something really good,
you're I'll read that back.
There's once in a while where there's something that comes out of the transcript that you just want to frame and put it up in your office because it's so good, stuff like that. But I'm going to enjoy reading that again. But she didn't buy a lot of what the SEC was selling. That's just good stuff for us.
Yeah.
Freddie Quotes asks, is there possibly a better outcome we could have had? Nuclear Herbs, anything we wanted that we didn't get?
The only thing I would say that would have been better than what we got would have been if she said, I'm not even giving you 20 days to see if you want to amend the complaint. That's the only thing. But I think that was done as a courtesy rather than a rather than an expectation that they're going to try and do it.
Yeah, courtesy, and to show that like the fairness of like, I mean, to make sure that we're all, hey, procedurally we're still keeping with the fairness of law. They have a chance to respond, but
yeah, because otherwise they would have 60 days to appeal. At this point, I mean, if they don't come back in 20 days and say, hey, we're going to amend our complaint, it's what's the option? What and it gets and it's entered as a dismissal with prejudice. What are the chances the SEC could even successfly appeal that after they
draft that up and everything?
After they didn't bother to show up and say, we're going to try and do this again. So I don't know.
Yeah, is that what Zena's saying here? 20 days is very short for legal proceedings.
It is, but I mean, all they have to do, I believe, is file a notice that they want to amend a complaint. I don't think they actually have to have the amended complaint filed yet. I'd have to go back and look at this specific direction the court gave, but typically that's what happens. You just got to notify the court something's coming.
Yeah, it says the only downside is that the SEC has a chance to amend the claim, but under new leadership, I don't know if the SEC will spend resources on that.
Yeah, I agree with Zenith. I don't think that they're going to spend money on it, and I don't think they have anything to bring forward anyway.
Yeah, that's the thing. They'd have to spend more money fast to come up with some shit,
Well, I don't know what else they could review. Are there hidden YouTube videos that they didn't look at from Richard, or are there times where he visited the country and did certain things or whatever here? Like, if they had the goods, it would have come out by now.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's awesome. It's all because there's like so much silly FUD that we've had to hear until it got forever, and like it felt like for the longest time when Richard was just clowning on everybody, like that we were just going through. It's like a video game where he was just beating each boss, and like government boss was going to be like the biggest boss to deal with. So like, this fight is having this fight over and having like so a lot of that FUD, whether it be people worried about the adoption amplifier stuff or whatever. Like I've had to hear that still to this day. Like I think that all that FUD can go out the window.
Yep.
You can really let it all go.
Yeah, the court touched on it, but there was nothing significant enough to grab hold of him and put him and make him show up in America. So there you go. It's not like the court didn't get to hear about it, didn't understand it. She understood it.
Very, very, very intelligent judge spent a lot of diligence to go over this. She's an elderly lady that understands crypto better than probably a lot of you idiots buying this shit right now. So.
Yeah, I mean, we did get a really good draw on a judge. That's for sure. So. Yeah, I really appreciate her taking that time and spending that kind of effort to go learn what this case is all about, learn the nuances of blockchain, learn everything that needed to be learned. And she clearly did. So I'm happy with that.
Kind of on that similar note, Dix Insider asked, could an administration change anything in 4 years if there's a change in presidential power or from conservative to liberal?
Yeah, they could, but it's not going to be revived because it'll be if it's dismissed with prejudice, it can't be revived. So it's dead.
It's dead, he says.
Dead.
DED. Shout outs to some G's in here. Lights out. What is going on, brother? Hodprill, what is going on, amiga?
Patrick Wayne, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Crypto cause. Now I know less about this one, so I'd like to get your thoughts on Roger. Do you know much about Roger Ver's case, Herbs? Let's not.
I just do not. No,
okay.
I just know it's a tax issue. It had to do with him renouncing citizenship or something like that. But I haven't really paid that much attention to it.
The years it seems like that are in question are like early as shit, like a long time ago. It's like this.
Yeah, well, they get to extend their own statute of limitations on fraud, so they just claim fraud so that they can extend their statute of limitations. Self-looking ice cream type shit.
And like Roger of everybody has been tried to be from day one, basically the squeakiest, like most on the up and up of everything. Like I there hasn't been a dude in crypto who's been more public or less shady about how he's trying, like how he's going about, from the very beginning of him deciding to move out of the States, he was super like transparent about everything. Like like when this happened, I was pretty mind blown that they're going after him of all people.
Yeah, I haven't really dived into it, but like from what I've seen, I'd be really surprised if this case against him survives. I really would. So I don't know. It seems like overreach to me, but that's again not knowing everything. But
yeah, he tried to be very
feels like
quiet.
overreach to me.
Let's see other comments. Latest: a significant precedent has been established. Let's leverage this to correct the narrative surrounding the RH ecosystem and its passionate community.
Yeah, I guess what I would say is like this is the narrative needs to be that Richard beat the SEC. It's not like the SEC walked away from it and decided
that
not to
is
do it.
That's even the cooler part about it. That's the real deal. It's
I agree. That's the way it's got to be framed. Is that we had a founder who got sued by the SEC, told him he was right the whole time, and turned out to be right. So maybe you should start listening to this fucking guy because he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, golly, it'd be great if this is one way for people to start getting over themselves and actually start spending the time to listen to what he's got to say.
Yeah.
Toblerone. Plot twist. That judge was Ski Cat.
I mean, I don't know what that means.
Ski Cat was the cat that used to donate he's done a bunch of. He's a whale in Hex. He's definitely a Hex whale.
Oh, okay, all right.
He's been he was on Hexo's stream a bunch, donating lemons and shit back in the day when he was on D Live.
Was very generous to some Hexicans.
Super generous to several Hexicans along the way. The dude definitely kicks ass. So.
Yep.
All right, cool. Good. Awesome.
Zenith with some perspective. This week, the SEC ended investigations into Robinhood, Uniswap, Gemini, and Consensus.
As they should.
But they ended those investigations. We won.
That's
right. That's it. That's exactly the right way to say it.
WUN won.
We won.
We touched on it earlier, but Herbs Toblerone asked, what happens with the other thing, the bogus Interpol assault charge on the mystery teenager? I mean, that's still going on, but we were kind of saying, I think maybe in the green room, is that's more of like, it's not really a crypto issue pertaining to this community or the coins or anything like that. It's more of like a personal tax problem, if anything.
Yeah, it is. It has nothing to do with Pulse Chain, PulseX, whether or not it has nothing to do with his products. I mean, it's a personal tax issue and a personal alleged assault. I have no idea how a simple assault ends up on Interpol. It makes no fucking sense to me. I mean, that kind of shit happens every fucking day, everywhere. We don't know the facts of it because Finland won't cough it up. I've done my best to try to get information out of them. So we don't know. But I mean, if Richard's going to go out of his way to hire a kill team like this to fight the SEC, like, do we really not think he's doing the same thing to fight people who can actually put him in jail? Like, he's got, he's working on this stuff with some of the best attorneys in Europe right now. So we just got to sit back, relax, and let him do his thing, and he'll fix the problem on his own.
Yeah, and again, like I said, even if it's just like the worst case scenario, like what's the worst case that happens from that? They throw the book at him, and he pays $100 million in taxes to Finland, and it has to spend a year in some Finnish prison or something for some assault charge. Like that's like worst case scenario, And like I don't think that even really matters. Like for Hex,
it really doesn't. Yeah,
doesn't like for you and I and everybody else who's invited. Like that would, it actually might make for incredible fanfare. And of it all, so like I don't know, like I mean, it's all. Like,
have you ever seen like if you want a good laugh, go Google Finland's open prisons, because a lot of them don't even have bars on them. They don't they basically let you go out in town and work. You own a car. You wear your own clothes. You cook your own meals or whatever. You go shopping, do whatever.
Chill.
So it's not like the dude could fucking stream if he wanted to from prison. Even if they did, who gives a shit?
Hello, everybody. Richard Hart here.
That's great. So I mean, like again, that's what I mean. It's like I don't think that part even matters. So like,
Right.
I mean, I would like for that to go away too. But I think the biggest part for everybody who's an investor in all this and who's paying attention to what goes on in this community, I mean, 20 days from now, the final full nail will be in the coffin that like this, we're done here.
I agree with that. If I was a betting man, and I kind of am, because
we're in crypto, sir.
I would guess that's the SEC is going to wave the white flag on that.
Yeah.
Extra, not good to see you, man. Congrats, Pulse Chain. Yeah, like
first founder from prison. That shit would be. Oh man, that fucking most wanted fucking meme token would go through the.
No kidding, right?
Yeah, Dixon Cider. We all got to tag Uniswap to force them to relist all of our stuff.
Yeah, they got no excuses anymore.
That's true. They don't, right? I mean, what's the issue now? What's the issue with Coinbase? What's the issue with Kraken? Like, who cares?
Yep.
They're not securities. Move it. Or even if they are, who cares? The SEC the SEC can't tell you not to list it anymore. So.
Yeah, and Hodprol echoes that. Maybe Uniswap will
Yep.
Freudian slip. Uniswap will list us again out of still being high from their epic win. LOL. Josh Deep, brother, good to see you. Great news. Hasn't fully settled in, but it feels good. I agree with that. I'm curious to see what the next this weekend holds for price and all that. Obviously,
it's just a different world now. I mean, there's less hex available than ever, and we are in a place where we can talk about it more than we have been able to for literally 2 years. So, like, I mean, this is a great position to be in. So I'm excited as shit. But you're right. It's going to settle in more and more as the future for us all and the community and everything else and what we can get done is definitely going to look a lot different than it has for the past, while.
Yeah. We really needed this. We really needed this.
I'm gonna go eat some fucking fire sushi. I got a reservation in a little bit here, gentlemen.
That's fine, man. Because I think we've covered just about everything we're going to, and I'm guessing just because we've been in this community for a long time, there might be some other streams tonight about this.
I'm sure.
So I fielded three. I had 3 phone calls while I was on stream. So with you guys.
There you go. So, on that note, I mean, we're going for like close to 50 minutes now. Thank you guys for jumping on. And
if you're a streamer that thought was a streamer before and got all scared by all this shit, well, like it's time to get out there and be somebody. Like come back. We're here. Come on out. So we got lots of time to do more. And I mean, I appreciated everybody's voice before. I'm looking to hear more of it. So. And if you haven't, get a camera and jump on.
Literally, there is no better time to get out there because if there's any case for positive momentum, like this is it.
Oh yeah.
There's no excuse. So
yeah,
burn it up, fam.
Hell yeah,
burn it up.
This is fantastic. I'm so happy today. I can't even tell you.
Yep. Well, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you too. I'm so glad you messaged to do a freaking stream today.
Dude, this is cool. Yeah, and hopefully I'll hop in some chats tonight if there are other streams. I know Coffee did one right before us.
Yeah,
so shout out to Coffee.
I think Hexo's streaming right now too. So if you want to go see
what he's doing. There you go. So perfect. All right. Well,
thanks for having me on again, guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man. You're like the best guest to have on at this time.
Yes,
appreciate you.
And a hockey fan. So
yeah, that's right, man.
As we like to end our shows, cheers, everybody.
Woo. Cheers.
Ah, yes. Let's go weekend.
Let's fucking go.